Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm actually going to talk about how to kind of get from being on console with a controller, which I actually don't have a controller right here, surprisingly, to being more of a keyboard and mouse kind of person. So, to me, step one would be getting something like any kind of computer that can run whatever the game is that you choose, which is kind of step one and two all in one, because they kind of go hand in hand. So something like Counter-Strike you can run on almost anything, whereas if you wanted to run like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, you're going to need something a little bit more expensive. Choose a game that you already feel comfortable with and just use a mouse sensitivity that feels good in Windows, and then just start trying to figure that out in game, whether it feels too fast or too slow. You can adjust it just like you can with controllers. So there's also free games on Steam, games, programs, whatever you want to call them, like Aim Labs, for instance, which is completely free, and all it does is it just tests your aim, and it just shows different things around the screen. If you're not looking for like FPS type of games, then it's mostly just like using a normal mouse for most games. I say most because there's games like World of Warcraft and things like that that are a little bit different. But generally speaking, for things like Civ and all those type of games, it's just like using a normal mouse. But for FPS games, something like Aim Labs would definitely be very helpful. And also just being able, just getting flicking from one side to another down to a science, because that's one big. I didn't realize my thumb was going to crack. My bad. Getting flicking down from one thing to another is definitely a big thing. So I know people say usually not to go off of any kind of anyone else's setup, but I personally use the default in-game sensitivity for most games and 2400 DPI on my mouse. DPI stands for dots per inch. That's pretty much just the sensitivity of the mouse, but I think the most important thing is finding a game that you already feel comfortable with. So if that game is Call of Duty Black Ops 2, go for that. I know there's a lot of free games on PC that you can start messing around with, like Valorant is free to play. Destiny 2 actually went free to play relatively recently. There's a lot of games that are just free to play. I can't think of many off the top of my head right now, but there's a lot of them. And those are great games to start with, just because that way, if you really don't like it, then you're not, $60 in the drain or anything. And you also don't need any kind of really expensive keyboard and mouse. You could use like one of the $20, keyboard and mouse bundles. Personally, I have a lot more money spent in it because this is what I really enjoy, and I really wanted a nice setup, but that one is completely up to you. That is something that's not needed, but some people do like it and want it once they get a little bit into it and actually choose to go that route versus controller. It's the same thing, like some people on Xbox use the Elite controller versus the regular controller. Same idea. It's more of just a thing of feel and all that type of stuff over the actual functionality of the basic functions. Yeah, I think that's about it, other than just you have to actually put time and effort into it. This is not something that's just gonna happen overnight. I know that when I first started, I was all over the place. I was not good at all, so don't think that you're gonna be just as good with a keyboard and mouse as you are with a controller at first. That's just not practical. You do have to kind of relearn things a little bit. That's why I'm saying choose a game that you feel comfortable with, because if you don't choose a game that you feel comfortable with when you're starting everything, then you're never going to feel comfortable overall, and it's just not going to make for a good time. So if you find a game that you feel really good with and go off of that, then you're going to have a lot better over time with everything. So I hope this actually did help people. Also, if you have a game like CSGO or Counter-Strike Global Offensive, going into just an empty map and just finding an area just to flick on the wall and just see how close you can get shots and all, that's also a very good thing to do. So I hope this video actually helped some people out there. Leave a like if you enjoyed or if this helped you. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.